Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers, your movies and entertainment podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm Corwin Heller.
I was wondering if I lost you for a minute there. And today we are discussing two films. We're talking about 2019's The Peanut Butter Falcon and 2004's Collateral. Corwin, are you ready to rumble?
No. Yes.
Tune in next week to find out if Corwin's ready. All right, cool. So where do you want to start?
Again, I am indifferent. Watched The Peanut Butter Falcon today. Watched Collateral last night, so both are pretty fresh. Yeah.
All right, Collateral's the better movie. But I think I'm going to have more to say about The Peanut Butter Falcon. So let's start with Collateral.
Sounds good.
Collateral came out in 2004. It was directed by Michael Mann, written by Stuart Beattie, and starring most premierly or firstly, I don't know what the correct word is, Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, and Jada Pinkett Smith. Also appearing in this movie, guys like Mark Ruffalo, Peter Berg, and Emilio Rivera. I don't know who you are. Doesn't matter. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role for Jamie Foxx, and Best Achievement in Film Editing for Jim Miller and Paul Rubel. It had an estimated budget of, scrolling, $65 million. Really? Wow. And a cumulative worldwide gross of $221 million. So definitely a success. And
all of that $65 million went to Tom Cruise's hair bleach.
Oh, absolutely. It was aggressive. And I kind of love it.
It almost took me out of the movie, just like how often I just caught myself just staring at his hair, just like, he will never get hair like this because he will never allow himself to look old. But like, he fucking kills it. And I don't know
honestly,
why I would ever expect otherwise.
Do you think it's just naturally gray hair at that point? Like they told him, Tom, stop dyeing your hair for a little bit.
Oh, I don't think he was old enough for that level of hair. I feel like it has to be dyed.
How old do you think Tom Cruise was when this movie came out?
I don't know if I could tell you how old Tom Cruise is right now, let alone doing the math to figure it out. I'll say he was 38 when this movie came out.
You're very close. He was born in 1962, so that has him at 42 when this movie comes out.
Okay.
Which also makes him fucking 58, which is insane to think about.
Like, he looks 40, and that's why I just refuse to accept that he will ever look old. Because, like, that just will not... Scientology will not allow face of the franchise to look like that.
Yo, he is deadass the Tom Brady of Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I don't know. I've seen men go gray at 40. It just doesn't matter. The movie is about a cab driver who finds himself as the hostage of an engaging contract killer as he makes his rounds from hit to hit during one night in Los Angeles. Corwin, what are your impressions of this movie? What'd you think?
Just before we move off of people looking weird, I still am shook by Mark Ruffalo being in this movie. Because the first time I saw him, I was like, that man looks familiar. Like, trying to think back at, like, all the Latino characters in detective movies I've seen over the years, like, trying to pinpoint who this guy looks like. And it's like, oh my God, that's fucking the Hulk. That, like, it just took me so out of it. It looked nothing like Mark Ruffalo.
I know, dude. I've seen this movie. It's been a few years since I've seen this movie. And I guess he just disappeared from my memory of it. And yeah, you're right. Once he came on the screen, it's like, oh shit, oh my god. Yeah, it's a weird sensation seeing him in this. Looks young as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I went into this movie fully expecting a lesser version of Heat because it's Michael Mann and that's what you got, that's what you expect, and ended up really liking this movie like a whole lot. Like, we just talked about this last week with the Royal Tenenbaums, how there was just so many characters. It felt like there was, no depth to really any of them because you just didn't have that time with the characters to really dive in. And with this, I felt like, oh my God, this entire movie is character depth. And there's just a story intertwined around it with some action thrown in. It's been a little while since I've seen Heat last, but it definitely didn't feel like the same even vein or genre of movie. And I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, all the action was still fantastic. It's Michael Mann. That's what he's known for. And I just appreciate the hell out of his work in that area. I thought it was very beautifully shot, like most of the movies I end up picking for some reason or another. Really cool, unique shots throughout the movie. They used a lot of like lens glare on Jamie Foxx's glasses. I already forgot the guy's name. Mark, I think.
Max.
Max, same difference, close enough. But I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Not a ton more, but definitely more than I thought I was going to. And it was just an overall one of those movies where, you know, action movies to me aren't exactly always the cream of the crop stylistically, or not stylistically, story wise, but like this definitely falls into the I forget what word I'm trying to go for. Category, yeah. Holy shit. That's a new low for me. Of just like movies that are just like, no matter what's going on, I could sit down and watch this and enjoy it, no problem.
I'm almost tempted to not even call this like an action movie just because of how, I don't want to say slow, but I want to say it burns, you know, like it really has like this deliberate pace about it. And it's,
in my notes, I kept calling it relaxed.
Yes, that is exactly what it is, which is fucking bizarre because there's so much at stake for the Max character. I almost said Samuel L. Jackson. It's not. It's Jamie Foxx, which is fine because I keep wanting to call Tom Cruise Tom Brady. Everyone's name is wrong in my head today. Anyway, the Jamie Foxx character has like he's fucking tied to a steering wheel. He's gonna get killed by drug people. He's got so much to say the whole movie. But Tom Cruise, being like the least Tom Cruise character in the world, just like cool as a cucumber, like great posture. He's just having a nice evening, you know. He's just like, it's a wonderful night, you know. I got to do a few chores. You know, the wife asked me to pick up some groceries. I got to kill that guy. And you know, but we're having a nice little night here, and he just like centers the film in such a bizarrely great way. Because seriously, when I think of Tom Cruise, like what are some of your first impressions when I say, "Oh, hey, Tom Cruise came out with a new movie"?
I'm immediately gonna think, okay, how much is he gonna run? Because that's
that's true.
It happens every fucking time. And then what is it? It's always gonna end up being, okay, what kind of crazy stunts are we gonna see? And then it's, okay, I actually don't even care what the movie's going to be about because I know it's going to be fairly easy to watch and enjoyable because that's just Tom Cruise's shtick at this point. Like, he doesn't do anything crazy. Well, I take that back. He always does something crazy, but the movies themselves aren't out there anymore. It's usually pretty safe, usually very well done, well shot, and then he just kills it. And that's kind of how this is definitely something that would describe Collateral. Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those sentences. I wasn't sure where I was going with it.
I understand. I usually think of him as intensely pouty and doing a lot. You know, because whether it's like the in Mission Impossible movies where he's like the action dude, he's still like, there's usually some level of emotional, in addition to the world almost ending in every one of those movies, there's always some like emotional catalyst for him. And if you think about him in his like earlier, more dramatic roles, which he has seemingly entirely abandoned, what's that one where he's the fucking lawyer?
With Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, Nicholson.
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men, or him in fucking, I can't think of movie names, and we're doing a movie show. The one where he's the sports agent.
Show Me
what
the Money.
Movies? Yeah,
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. I hate that fucking movie. Anyway,
It's,
I
I just want to say I went into that movie thinking it was going to be an all-time classic. It is one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen in my life.
oh my
It is
god,
not good.
yo, it's like one step above a Hallmark movie. Honestly, if that,
Yeah.
it's basically a Hallmark movie.
Dude, Cuba Gooding Jr. is
Cringing.
awful in that movie.
The scene where he gets up and like starts dancing after he gets leveled, and it doesn't. Totally
Yeah.
different movie. Doesn't matter. But again, same
No,
thing.
no,
like
no,
when
no. We should talk about how bad that movie is.
it's fucking trash, and the fact that Cuba Gooding Jr. is now arrested for being a pedophile is like not surprising if you saw
Wait,
that movie.
What?
Well, not like literally, but he got not. Well, he
All right, that's
shouted
a
in.
pretty heavy.
He shouted in a nightclub, telling people to suck that baby's dick, and that's not a good look.
No. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad.
And he did get arrested for sexual misconduct. So it's like, how well did you know Jeffrey Epstein? Anyway, show me that baby dick. Tom Cruise is always pouting at something, and this is like the one movie where he's not, that I can really think of, because in all the, in Jerry Maguire, he's pouting about like, he's leaving his job and can't get any clients, and his girlfriend's mad at him, and A Few Good Men, like he's pouting because they aren't following the rules of the law, and in like all of his action movies, he's pouting because like they took my girlfriend. So super reductionist for all of his movies, but this movie, he's just cool as a fucking cucumber, man. He's just.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing
cool,
so
calm, collected.
You know what it reminds me of in a lot of ways? It reminds me of how like a lot of
Sup, Craig? Piece of fucking shit.
So our recording guy didn't record, and we lost a full hour's worth of conversation that happened after what you heard cut out, which sucks. It was a really good conversation. We talked very much so in depth on the Peanut Butter Falcon, and I thought it was a worthwhile conversation. But honestly, folks, we cannot do it again. It's
My
just
neighbor
too much.
Stopped by and came on the show and talked with us for a while.
It was super cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
hella tight, bro. So anyway, we're not doing it again, for time's sake and for our own emotion's sake. So we're going to real quick just give an overall summary from our standpoint on each of the films, give our star rating, and announce next week's films for us, and then just move on. So Corwin, why don't you start off by summarizing just in general Collateral, and then I'll give mine.
Classic Michael Mann action movie with really well done action sequences, great character development, beautifully shot, with some issues with sound editing that is easily overlooked. In all, if you compared it to other action movies or movies of this style, it is very much near the top. I give this a 4 out of 5.
I'm a big fan of this movie. It's got a really interesting feel to it. It's very untraditional for an action film. It's got, like Corwin said, really good character development. It's beautiful, just in its appearance. And I have really no major complaints, but I give it 3.5 stars. I said it was another one of those gut feeling kind of decisions. It's the least Tom Cruise-iest role in the world, and I think that works for him so much. It's really, Jamie Foxx is wonderful in this film, and there's a ton of actors in this that you're going to recognize. Young Mark Ruffalo, young Javier Bardem, younger Jada Pinkett Smith. So definitely, yeah, right. Shockingly enough, seriously, it feels like everyone's in this movie. It's exceedingly well done. It's definitely worth the time. So 3.5 for me, 4 from Corwin. Corwin, give me your quick overview on the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Very easy to overlook the writing mistakes, at least when I first watched it. Is an absolute fantastic feel-good movie, especially when that is a genre, I will say, that I very much typically don't enjoy and find very cheesy. Acting performances are, especially by Zach, is phenomenal, and a high point of the movie. There's really the only complaints I want to have are writing, which is definitely what Josh opened my eyes up to. But it is hard to overlook. I give it a 2.5 out of.
So it might be a small blessing in disguise that that recording is gone, only because we spent a lot of time talking about the many issues with the script. But we both agree that this is still a really fun movie. It's still got a wonderful performance by Zach Gattinson. I keep getting his name wrong.
Which is why I didn't say it.
Yeah, I understand. The main actor. It's got, again, a bunch of appearances by people that you will certainly recognize, some of which make more sense than others, but it's a fun movie. It's a very easy movie to watch. I'm also going to give it 2.5 stars only because the writing is out of this world bananas. But overall, it's still enjoyable for what it is. So 2.5 for me. That being said, Corwin, what is your movie for next week?
Martin Scorsese's The Departed.
An excellent choice. We'll have plenty to say about it. I'm going to pick the recently released film Invisible Man. I'm trying to pick movies that I haven't watched. So this is the new one with Elizabeth Moss. And yeah, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else, Corwin, before we go? Corwin?
I just said fuck you, Discord.
Oh, yeah. Up the ass. All right. Well, if you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at ChoosingPod. If you want to hit us up via email, you can do so at choosingthenumbers@gmail.com. And until Monday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.